fun. Okay. Hello everybody. Before we get started, as always, I want to give a shout out to the lovely music we've been listening to during pre-stream here. This is Dreamer by Declan DP. You can find their information in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Thank you to Declan and everybody like them who makes it they're free to use or low-cost assets for us streamers so we can have better streams. Thank you very much. Hacha! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is in your part of the world. I am Deuscain, your variety tape streamer for the day, and today we are going to be playing Tavern Talk, a new visual novel fantasy game that I played the demo for last week. I really liked it, and the game came out this week, so we're going to play that. Hi J-Log, how you doing? But before we get started, I do like to do like a usual like chatting session kind of thing. Yeah, you were slow when it came to the Pokemon. Yeah, I saw that. Sorry you lost your Growlithe chance. I need to figure this one button out here, though. Because I've got a thing. Let me check something. That is not working anymore. And that is part of the official Twitch one. So we're going to be doing some chatting for a little bit before we stream, and I'm also live troubleshooting an issue that I noticed last week with a thing that I care about a lot, and yeah, it's not behaving nicely. But to answer your question, J-Log, you're doing all right, just making lunch. How am I doing? I'm doing all right too. A little tired, a little sleepy. I was up late the last few nights, as is my usual shtick these days. Okay. But I'm generally doing pretty good. Authorize that, do the thing. That's connected. Fine, great, good. Does the button works. Fantastic. So, but I'm doing pretty good. I've been playing a lot of like Elden Ring and stuff like that this week, because I've been trying to get ready for the DLC. I have still not actually touched anything in the DLC yet, because I am just not good enough. But no, you need to beat certain bosses in order to access the DLC content for Elden Ring. I have not beaten those bosses, in part because I have not put in the effort of, like, getting other upgrades that are very good. So, like, I was, like, right at the edge of the level cap to even fight and beat some of those bosses. And, I'll be honest, my Spirit Ashes are garbage. I think I have stuff from Limgrave that's, like, only partially upgraded. So, yeah, it's not a good time. It's not a good time at all. They're doing alright for what I need them to, but God is my witness, I need to get that Mimic tier and some other good stuff that, like, is actually good. So, oh God, no, the winking again. But no, I'm doing pretty good, just tired, pushing myself too hard lately. But otherwise, yeah, I'm doing alright. Trying to have a pretty relaxed week. Trying to stretch myself too. But we are starting 2 new video games in this week. We are doing Tavern Talk today, which is kind of new because I was playing it last week. And we are doing Wargroove tomorrow, which is not a new game. It came out, I think I last played it in 2021. When did it actually come out? Is it 2019? 2019, I was right. But it's by the same publisher? I think they did Stardew Valley. Yeah. Yeah, what's the whole thing? Things to know. Creep factor. Why is Stardew Valley so creepy? It's not? Chucklefish is handing back the last of its Stardew Valley publishing duty. So was the publisher. So basically made by the same publisher that did Stardew. And I think it was done wholesale by them. Was it actually? Yeah, they were the dev and the publisher. So yeah, nice little war tactics game. Gonna check it out. Should be fun. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just kind of here. Lack of sleep makes for not terribly good conversation, and I was up a wee bit late last night. I was up real freaking late the night before. Hey, Ravi. Thank you for the great stream wishes. I want to try a thing here and see how this works, actually. Okay, so it does come out of my stuff. I was curious. But, thank you, Ravi. I will try to have a good stream. It'll be nice and cozy if you want to lurk, and if you gotta go elsewhere, I understand that too. Thanks for stopping by. Yes. But, yeah. So, a lot of Elden Ring. A lot of watching friends play Elden Ring this week, because they were getting ready for the DLC. My god, that launch day was fantastic. Because, like, first of all, to toot my own horn a little bit. I got to be the one to remind a friend. Waiting to hear from a friend to make get food. Cancel. Fair enough, Ravi. Get your food. Get your yum yums. I was the one that pointed out to a friend that Elden Ring's release date was not Friday the 21st. Nay. I pointed out that the Steam page technically said Thursday the 20th. So my friend kept saying like, "Oh, it's gonna be Friday. It's gonna be Friday. My stuff's gonna be here on Friday." I'm like, bullshit. It's Friday. Here's the screenshot from Steam saying it's gonna be Thursday. And that friend immediately went from, "Oh, I have plenty of time to get ready for the DLC," to "Ah!" And that has been a great experience, hanging out with that friend as they are fucking hype as hell for the DLC. So yeah, I have just fully looked things up about it and spoiled myself. I know who the final bosses are. I know what the weapons do. I know some of the stuff I'm going to pick up. So the game is already spoiled for me. Some games I want to go into blind. Other games I'm like, respectfully, fuck this game. I'm gonna go kick its ass my way and go in with a guide because this game stacks the deck so hard in its favor. We're going in with the guide. And most FromSoft games fall into that category. Like the rare exception was like Armored Core. I think I went in fairly blind. But it wasn't too long where I'm like, okay, I know there's supposed to be like chests around here that have items. Where are those chests? Where are those items? You know, stuff like that. So I wasn't doing a whole lot of exploring. Generally, I don't, actually, that reminds me, I should update my tags for this. I do have them. First playthrough, no spoilers. Yeah. I'm usually not too bothered by, like, spoilers for stuff unless I explicitly asked to be not informed about things, because I'll do exactly what I did this week for Elden Ring. I will just look crap up on my own, and that's honestly fine. Like I don't have a problem knowing what's going to happen in Elden Ring, because Elden Ring was never really about the story for me. It was more of like an experience of the game. And I feel like I'm in the minority for that, because a lot of people are like, oh, but the story and the lore and all these things about it, knowing what's coming does precious little to prepare me for it. Like, just because I see a boss does not mean I know the counter to them. Even if I know the counter, doesn't mean I'm going to be able to do it. That's honestly a big part of why I stopped Sekiro, because I got to a boss and I just hit a wall. And they just were punishing and savage, and I did not want to deal with that boss. So I didn't. I stopped. I'm not even sure if I have Sekiro installed anymore. Did I remove it? No, Sekiro's not even installed. I haven't played it since April. So, yeah, like it's some games I'm not concerned about the spoilers. Other ones I am. Like Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood's a great example of I would not have wanted spoilers for that game, and I didn't. Elden Ring, I understand why people don't want spoilers for it. I will personally avoid talking about the spoilers I found out about. Because I was chatting with that same friend that found out about it and was super hyped, and they're like, yeah, I feel like I'm like halfway through this already. I'm like, well, I don't think you are, because of these reasons. But the friend's also just like chewing through the content, so I don't think we're gonna get months worth of content out of the Elden Ring DLC. It is still a much smaller game than the original, and there is still a lot less to explore. Like it's, I think they said in the promotional materials it's going to be like the size of Limgrave, and that was one like continent of, how many was it? It was, I mean, it depends on whether or not you count the Weeping Peninsula as a continent, but you had Limgrave, you had Caelid, you had Liurnia, you had the Altus Plateau, and you had like the snow area. So yeah, I'd probably count the Weeping Peninsula as Limgrave. So like, there's a ton of stuff to do in Limgrave, but it's all fairly simple and not challenging. There's a ton of stuff to do in Liurnia, but a lot of that is like later game stuff. That's like when you're getting past, like, that's like Ranni's giant plateau in the southwest corner that you can't get to until very late in the game. Or it's like the inverted tower that you go up, that you can't run that until you've progressed further. So there's a lot of stuff in the area that's not available immediately. Altus Plateau, Mount Gemler is another example of like, yeah, you got this zone. It's just kind of there. Yes. It's a little bit smaller than the others. It's probably like Weeping Peninsula. Oh, not even Weeping Peninsula size, because there aren't a lot of dungeons in Mount Gemler. So, yeah, like Altus Plateau has a lot more overall to do, but it also has a giant dungeon. I'd probably count Mount Gemler as part of. Fair enough, J-Log. Probably count Mount Gemler as part of Altus Plateau because you can't really get to one without getting to the other. So they kind of collectively work that way. Caelid is really its own beast. Like Caelid A has a ton of dungeons. It has 2 sections. It's a whole big mess. Yeah, Ravi, you're going in too. Hope you catch this one. So yeah, there's a ton to do in the DLC, and I'm very excited for everybody who's excited to play it, because I think they're gonna have a good time. I'm interested in like getting into like the chewy numbers and like the math of it. Like, okay, where's, there's supposed to be X number of new spirit ashes. Where are they? What do they do? Which ones are good? Let me go check. So, because I'd love, oh my god, I would love to bring one of those new spirit ashes or something like that to fight Melania and be like, I have never known defeat. It's like, bitch, I fought some evil shit here. Oh wow, all of us missed that one. But yeah, there's a degree of wanting to like bring something like that against a boss like Melania and just be like, yeah, fuck you. You gave us so much trouble before, and now we're gonna put our foot up your ass. Oh, I've also got the sleepies. So, yeah. This week has been brought to you by Elden Ring and lack of sleep. And hanging out, staying up late to hang out with friends and catch up. And yeah, been a pretty good time. I am gonna need to catch up on more sleep. Like, the next 2 nights are gonna have to be like, fucking behave myself. Don't go to social events. Sorry, Robbie, I'm gonna have to miss that VR chat night thing probably. Pass on social events and just go the fuck to sleep, because I could feel it on Friday. Like, I took 2 naps on Friday, like one in the middle of the day to keep myself going. And then, like, right when work was over, I'm like, and 30-minute nap. Odin sleep. Because I'm just like, yeah, it's rough. And what sucks is I see people hanging out, and I want to like jump into like a call in like Discord or something like that. And I'm just like, I just don't have any energy today. I just don't. I burned it all trying to just power through the lack of sleep. So yeah, I'll probably be a lot more social and sociable if I get enough friggin' sleep. So one of those frustrating things about not taking good care of myself. But anyway, let us get the game going. How's the audio, everybody? Does it sound okay? Looks okay on my end. Good to you, nice. Oh, it feels like it took a lot of my settings from the base game. Okay. This is good music. New save data. Okay, so they still have their gender pronoun section, which is nice.
Once upon a time in a world far, far away. In a realm ruled by dragons and magic. Well, actually, it was this land specifically. Not that far away. Let me start over. Once upon a time, somewhere in Gaia, not that far away, there was a tavern. My tavern.
Why do we have a feminine voice? I picked he, him.
A place for anyone looking for an adventure or a quick refreshment. A place open to everybody. Even jackdaws, I suppose. But I'm not just your typical innkeeper. My drinks are infused with magic to aid ambitious adventurers on their quests. To make sure they always return victorious.
Interesting.
Big shoes to fill, I know. Then again, what's the worst that could happen?
Oh god, no. Why did we say that? Don't we know dramatic irony? You never say that. Hi, Innkeep. How's it going? All fine and dandy? Can't complain. How about you, Fable? All fine and dandy? Yeah. Yeah, all fine and dandy. I had such an exciting day. Really. Really exciting. I forgot I was doing voices for these. Did you go on an adventure? Even better! I took a walk around the grove, and then I replanted a mushroom that had fallen over. And I waited patiently for it to turn into a mushroom monster, or a mushroom mimic, or maybe a gnome. Did it? No. But I got to take one another walk around the grove. How was it? Great! I got to see the same stones, the same trees, the same amaranthine hydra guarding the entrance to Avalon, the same moss. I even got to water the asters. They didn't really need it, but I was there, so... Sounds very exciting. Who am I kidding? My life is as exciting as roasted nut. Nuts are healthy, very thrilling in sauces or as a snack. They have various types of nuts, walnuts, peanuts, hazelnuts. I'm allergic. Oh. I didn't know that. Oh, no worries. I never told you. And hey, at least something would happen if I ate a nut. Just not something very fun. Anaphylactic shock and all that. Does that count as an adventure? No, I think that counts as a mistake. So you're saying is that you're missing some spice? Oh, no, 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 no. I have a very sensitive stomach. I don't think chilies would help me much. Though I'm good at growing phoenix chilies. I was talking about spice in your life. Ah! Oh, that's what you meant. Well, yes. Yes, exactly, that's it. There's no chili flakes, no garlic, no dragons. Just a lot of salt. I'm like a bland soup. So a classic case of boredom, I see. Do you know that feeling when nothing exciting is going on in your life? Like, life isn't bad, but it's also not particularly fun. Have you tried adding some zest to your soup? Huh? Drama, buzz, excitement, something fiery. Go to the theater or a gala, arrive in a hot air balloon. A hot air balloon? Don't they fly up really high? Yes, I think that's the point. I'm afraid of heights, and of people, and of actors. But apart from that, I'm trying. I tried singing, but what is singing if not the telling of a tale? How can I sing of things if I never lived through anything? What do you mean? Well, day in, day out, I live the same green soup of routines. Sure, I have my forest and I look after it, but I want to get out there and see something. Like, for example, listen to the song I started writing. I wish to be a hero, slaying mighty drakes. I wish to meet a pretty nymph, resting by the lakes. That sounds like a good song opening to me. Oh, really? You think so? Well, perhaps it has a nice flow to it. But nothing actually happens in it because all I do is sit around and wish for things to happen. I don't even know what nymphs do. I've never met one. Taxes, maybe? No, I don't think so. I'd love to sing about the exciting magical things I encounter. But to be honest, the most exciting thing in my life is coming to your tavern and discovering new drinks. Not a lot of songs you can write about that. I wouldn't mind a jingle. I'll think of one. Can I mention nymphs? I'd prefer if you didn't. Okay. Maybe one day I'll get to offer them their own jingle. In the meantime, can I offer you a drink? Yes, I'd love a drink. The usual. Yes, please. That means a swift strike, in case you forgot. Thank you for the reminder, Fable. It's my favorite. Always makes me feel like a featherlight nymph floating on waves of a sunny lake. Do you want to be with the nymph or be the nymph? Both? But mostly I want a swift strike. Message received. Although, I was wondering. I've been coming to your tavern for so long and I still don't know anything about how you make your drinks. Can you show me? I'm sorry, but I took an oath to take the secrets of mixology to my grave. Really? No, but I do have my secret. I do value my secret recipes. I understand. I guess I'll just have to try and recreate the swift strike from memory alone. Good luck with that. I shall make you a proper one for reference. So that's what it's difference. Alright. So I've got my book. We got the swift strike. One brain, one shield, and the rest is dex. First step, mix your first drink. Here you go. Enjoy. Thank you. This is exactly what I needed. Those adventures you dream of, aren't you scared that they'd be the end of you? Maybe, but how would I know if I never try? Do you actually want to try? Well, yes, I want to tell great stories, but... But what? Never mind. How can I help you? A drink. For you? Right. What kind? Drinkable. Very specific, thank you. How about a spoken heart? Some charisma couldn't hurt. Sure. Whatever. Fun little game. Charisma looks a lot like pineapple. This should be digestible, maybe even tasty. Thanks. Almost washes away the memories of that banshee haunting the lonesome lagoon at night. And her bone-shattering song of sorrow. Almost. Alright. Alright. The brooding type, I see. What are you thinking about, Fable? Just dreams? Yours or someone else's? Mine. Other people just seem to have the courage to follow theirs. Why can't I be like that? Isn't that up to you? I wish it was. My brother says dreams are a fool's errand, that I'm running away from where I belong. We are rangers, Fable. We belong to the mountains, like the stream that ripples. We belong to the woods, like the stream that ripples down the mountains. Or the birds in the trees, we keep the balance. It's what we're meant to do. And is that what you want to do? Yes. No, not really. I want to experience things outside the safe borders of the forest. I want to live a life so full of adventure, boredom feels like bliss. I want to be brave and strong. I want to sing songs about my adventures that make other people yearn for that same freedom. Of course, I could never leave the Ashen Grove behind forever. It's my home. But there's nothing wrong with going away from time to time, right? I mean, my brother looks after the grove, as well as my sisters. I think he'd be fine without me. Then you should do what your heart desires. Will it stop aching then? I think so, yes. What if it's wrong to leave, though? What if destiny never meant for me to leave? What if it did? That would be like a dream come true. Be your own genie, Fable. Your adventures start with you. Thank you, Innkeeper. You really are the most exciting part of my day. Nighttime. Blowing through a lot of this early content because this is what was in the demo. Greetings, traveler. How may I help you? You own this establishment, barkeep, innkeep? Last time I checked. With whom do I have the pleasure? The name's Carolyn. You can call me Care or Lynn. Couldn't care less. Nice to meet you, Carolyn. What can I do for you? Perhaps something to drink? You do the thing with quests, right? So they say. Do you want one? You can have a look at my notice board. No. No quest for me, but I may have one for you, or your notice board. Tell me more. Heard of a werewolf making trouble up in Tigrarin? Terrorizing farmers, tearing sheep apart, the whole program? A werewolf? That's news to me. Listen, me too. Didn't see one in almost a decade, and that was far south in Erova. I wonder if it's the same one, moving up like a nomad. I thought the werewolf hype died along with that one romance novel. Oh, that was me. You mean the one with the vampires? I think so. Nah, that just splits society into two camps. Team werewolf or team vampire. Which are you in, Keep? Team werewolf. Is it the fur or the packs? Neither. Questionable experiences with the other camp more so. I'm itching for the details. Don't. How about you? Wouldn't you like to know? Yes, that's why I asked. Keep guessing. Has everyone ever told you you could pass as a werewolf? Yes. All the time. At least twice a day. Only downside of looking like a wolf is getting mistaken for one. I see. Is that why you don't want to take care of the werewolf yourself? Yes. No. I'm just afraid he might look a little bit too much like my Uncle Dragon. I feel bad slaying that fella. I know, hunchback, hairy, crooked teeth. Is that a werewolf or just Uncle Dragon? You can't tell. Same fate befell Aunt Olga. I'm sorry to hear that. Nah, that hag had it coming. Never fall behind your grooming schedule. Before you know it, the next wannabe Van Helsing will strike you down with a silver arrow. Do the Van Helsings also hunt werewolves? I don't know. Don't care enough to check. Either way, that southern werewolf, yeah? Right. Anything else that might help us get done with it rather swiftly? Fetch. Pardon me? Should they get into a dangerous situation, they just have to start playing fetch. That actually works. On any dog, trust me. Good to know. Thanks, Carolyn. It's not that hard. Either Carolyn, Care, or Lynn. Alright, Chief. You got a name, or is it just Innkeep? Just Innkeep for now. Playing hard to get, I see. Well, Innkeep, before I venture on, you've got a drink for me? Of course. What would you like? I'll take something powerful, something with a whole lot of strength. Don't you dare give me any of that watered-down muck instead. A drink with 0 water as requested. Not bad. Just what I was craving. Thanks. Where will you head from here? Perhaps back west, through the Ashen Grove. Got some business to take care of. What kind of business? Personal business. Care to elaborate? No. But you won't stop asking until I do, will you? No. My cousin claims her crops are being stolen by undead snails. Obviously, I'm pretty sure she's hallucinating. But I did hear some folks complaining about an undead uptick in the west, so might as well humor her. And make sure she hasn't turned into an undead snail herself. Something like that. Yeah. It's odd, ain't it? Resurrecting the dead? It's certainly unconventional. That's one way to put it. I think there's not much use digging up the past. It's just going to open wounds you stapled shut. Or eat your face. The past haunts everyone willing to listen. Huh. Would you mind talking like a normal person? I ain't exactly up for philosophizing. You started this conversation. And I'm ending it. Alright, well then. If you find any more rumors from me or need aid, don't shy away from coming back. I'm more of a lone wolf, don't do groups. But sure, for more work I'll be back. I'll be waiting. Speaking of rumors, you know how to turn them into proper quests, right? Don't want them to go to waste. I've got it, thanks. Good. Enjoy the lone wolfing. I thought there was like a quill to start this. Alright, time to assemble a quest. Okay, so there's a quill. Grab the ones that are related, tap the thing. Combine rumors to create your first quest. A werewolf on detours. I'm gonna have myself a drink too. Act 1, Wayfarer's Inn, Part 2, Prelude to Bravery, 58th of the Wake. What do you have there, Fable? I found this on your notice board. It says a werewolf is terrorizing Tagarin. Is that true? It is indeed. Have you sent anyone after it yet? Maybe that hooded guy from yesterday? Not yet. Kind of hero are you, looking for? One who knows their way around difficult terrain, woods even. Preferably one who's good with a bow. One who tells me they want the quest. Ah, I am good with a bow. Yes, Fable. I know my way around the woods. I know, Fable. And maybe I want the quest? Just maybe. No, not just maybe. Since yesterday, all I've been able to think about is you telling me to follow my heart. And then I step into your tavern, and the quest practically jumps out at me, and I think, hey, there's a start for an adventure. It's in your forest. You know forest. You live in a forest. And werewolves are basically just normal wolves, but slightly scary because they're also human. But you've talked to humans before. You've got silver arrows for your birthday last year, and they've been collecting dust in your room. And I thought I could ask you if anyone had taken it yet? And then? I didn't think that far ahead. I see. Or rather, I did, but then I thought, what if I take the quest? Then I have to go on the quest. And I have to fight the werewolf, or talk to the werewolf, which is worse. Because what if the werewolf doesn't like me? What if I decide to shoot it with my silver arrow? And I miss and shoot a tree instead. And the tree would be mad at me. But it wouldn't really matter because I'd be dead because of the werewolf. And that took a quick turn. So maybe I should put the quest back. Fable? Yes? Do you want me to tell you to take the quest? Maybe? I can't make this decision for you. Neither can I! Whenever I have to make a difficult decision, it's like I freeze in place. And suddenly I'm unable to move until someone makes the decision for me. Like a slime. A frozen slime. A frozen slime that can't move. I've met slimes less anxious than you. You've met slimes? My tavern is open to everyone. Oh, right. What do slimes drink? Water, more slime, bones. You sell bones? Only to slimes. Ah, maybe you'll be able to add my bones to your menu soon. You just have to pick them up from the forest floor. I think I'll have a hard time convincing a werewolf to give up free bones. Why are you so anxious, Fable? In general? I think answering that would take up more time than we have to spare. About taking the quest, it seems to me that you want to take it, but you're trying to talk yourself out of it instead. Oh, well, I do want to go on that quest. Werewolves may not be the best muses, but it would be a good start to a song, right? The prelude of an epic. Fable, the protector of the woods, the world, the worms. The worms? They seem like they need protecting. But every time I think about embarking on a quest, and I start to think more deeply about what it might happen, all my bones just start to shake and I feel dizzy. Is there something making you feel like it might fail? Aside from the bloodthirsty werewolf? We don't know what it's thirsty for. It might prefer orange juice. It might. Well, heroes have history, right? Great feats that they can look back on to prove their bravery? Inspirational adventures that remind them of the light and the dark? I have the opposite of that. Great mistakes and epic regrets. Like the Mary Morgan incident. Or my first encounter with the Amaranthine Hydra. Or the reason why nobody wants to spend time with me. You know, that speed setting is just a little bit faster than I'd like. The Mary Morgan incident? Yes, the Mary Morgan incident. Didn't you hear about that? Oh, thank Gaia word didn't get around. It was my very first adventure. The chance to finally escape from the daily grind. What happened? The adventuring party was on their way, passing through the Ashen Grove. Due to the sylvan spirits, it gets fairly foggy at night. And the fog bears great danger to anyone who isn't acquainted with the spirits who call it home. So, they wanted guidance from a local ranger. A merchant up in Tagarin recommended me. I agreed to help, of course. My first adventure. Yay! I was so excited, but also very, very nervous. So, of course, it had to go wrong. I think it was the nerves. Why were you so nervous? New people, seasoned adventurers, one stronger than the next, all in shining armor and armed to the teeth. I wanted to leave a good impression, but my bad luck got in the way. How did it go wrong? I felt their condescending glares on my back as I walked through them through the woods. Of course, I don't know whether they actually glared. My fear got a hold of me and I led them astray. Must have blacked out. I've never gotten lost in the woods before. But this time I did. I couldn't see well. There was blood rushing in my ears. I felt dizzy. So for some reason I led them along a path no one should ever take. Past the river banks of the river of the Shivermere, home of the Mary Morgan. You know of the Mary Morgan, yes? That wrathful spirit that's known to drown men? Not sure if she really differentiates between genders, though. For some reason, I led them right into her arms. I got scared, and in the end, they had to save me. They fought the creature, and we finally found a way out when dawn broke. And the fog ebbed away. I couldn't look at them for the rest of the journey. And I silently bid my farewells when we reached the other side of the Ashen Grove. I was too embarrassed to speak. I'm sure I'm still the laughingstock of every one of their gatherings. How am I ever supposed to set foot in the adventuring world again? To be fair, Could have been worse. I could have led them right into the arms of the wyvern chimera residing on the Quag Mangrove. They say it has a great taste for adventurers. But you didn't. But I didn't. Your first encounter with the Hydra? Well, just the day after it arrived, it guarded the portal to the dream plane of Avalon. I wanted to be polite and neighborly, so I brought it some homemade biscuits. I burned them a little in the oven. But I thought since it had fire breath, I wouldn't mind. So I approached the Amaranthine Hydra. And I have this whole speech prepared about how I'm looking forward to having it around. And how its green scales match my hat. It was so tall and intimidating, I forgot all about what I wanted to say. I just set down the biscuits and smiled awkwardly. I looked at my biscuits and then at me, and it said, "By the rivers of the stars stands a man who reads the firmament's past. Some things are sturdy as the gilded ice. Some things as changing as Leviathan's sea. All chimeras hate mice, all hydras love tea." I thought to myself, wow, the Amaranthine Hydra's giving me a riddle. A quest. Maybe this will be my first adventure. But I couldn't figure out the answers, so I left. And I tried to solve the riddle for 3 days. I was too ashamed to set foot in front of it again, lest it know that I was not worthy of its wisdom. Then I couldn't take it anymore and I ran back, apologized, and begged for the answer. Turns out that's just how it speaks. It wanted tea. Did you get it some tea? Yes. And then you completed its quest? 3 days late. If it had needed an antidote, it would have died. Wood halves are about as useful as an antidote when you haven't been poisoned. And they change nothing. I suppose you have a point. Why does no one want to spend time with you? Also, I'm curious about the quest board. Okay, so I've got bits and pieces of a couple quests. So why does no one want to spend time with you? Because I'm unlucky. I'm unlucky, and whenever good things are supposed to happen, I ruin them. No matter how easy things might be, nothing seems to be easy enough for me. Imagine there's one nail sticking out in the whole kingdom. Everyone would pass it by except for me. I'd get caught on it and rip my coat. Did that happen once? Once? I wish it had been just once. It seems that my life only follows the path that's most embarrassing. Or dangerous. Or dangerously embarrassing. The curse of ill luck follows me wherever I go, like an adventuring companion who secretly wants to kill you. No one wants to hang out with somebody who naturally attracts bad things. You're too harsh on yourself, Fable. Am I? See, just last week I wanted to gather fresh flowers. The daffodils are blooming and they make for a nice bouquet, you know? Or hair accessories. They always calm my anxiety when I have them around. But me being me, I confuse them with their evil twin, the Weeping Amaryllis. Now, want to guess what I spent the whole day afterwards doing? Weeping. Like a baby, all day long. When I plucked them, they released their spores and I started crying. I suddenly felt all the sadness of the world rush over me. Like I've never been so heartbroken. I'm sorry, that sounds horrible, Fable. It was. Between the tears and the sobs, I managed to make a tincture out of hogweed. It eased the pain, but the tears wouldn't stop until dawn. So silly sometimes. There's nothing wrong with picking flowers. There is if they're the wrong flowers. Imagine if I had offered them to adventurers. Or even worse, the Hydra. That would have been so embarrassing. I don't think gifting others flowers to make them a little happier is embarrassing. And it would have made for a good story to laugh about together. I don't think they would have laughed about it with me, or at me. Maybe they would laugh with you, if you chose not to run away. You seem to assign a cruel sense of humor to people that haven't actually shown you such a thing yet. Not everyone thinks about you the way you think about yourself. That'd be nice. Innkeeper? Yes? Do you like spending time with me? Not really. That'd be mean. Yes, Fable, I do. Really? Of course. Seeing your face in my tavern brightens even the cloudiest of days. Please never stop coming around. I won't. You always make me feel a lot less alone. Thank you. That's because you're not alone. Not as long as my tavern and I are here. You better not go anywhere. Not planning on it. Anyhow. You seem to be very insecure. I think that's the biggest problem here. But how can I not be? And everything I touch falls apart. You know that isn't true. You're right. I'm a great gardener. Everything grows around me, but I just seem to get smaller. Except zucchinis. Can't figure out how to grow those. So in a way, I'm like a zucchini. I'm insecure because I don't know what I'm capable of. You'll have to find that out then. Like, on a quest? For example? Don't you think I'm a little underleveled? Do you think that will change by sitting around? I guess not. Someone has to help out those people, right? Somebody has to help out those people, right? What if I don't and then no one else comes around? What if I'm the only chance they got? But what if I'm not? What if there's someone better? The best thing you can do is try to help them. So what if another adventurer swings by and they're able to make the situation better? Isn't that a good thing? 4 hands are better than 2, and who knows, you might even end up forming a party. Oh. And besides, if it's a perfect hero they want, they'll be waiting forever. I didn't think about it like that. Maybe I shouldn't decide to give up before I even try. After all, I'm a very fast runner, so if I screw up I can just run away real quick. And that's the spirit. Okay, I, Fable, great gardener, and, future hero. Charmer of Nymphs. I'm going to embark on this quest and save the villagers. And I shall return victorious. Did I do it right? Yes, good job, Fable. I leave the quest in your capable hands, brave adventurer. Would you like to drink to aid you on your journey? Yes! Do you have something that can make me more nimble and quiet, so the werewolf won't see me coming? Something with a lot of dexterity. If I want to fight, then I'm going to need a surprise round advantage. Or maybe something that can help me with diplomacy? Perhaps it's just a hungry lost lichen after all, and it only needs a pep talk and a hug. Maybe we could even be friends. I would need something with a lot of charisma for that. I'll leave the choice up to you. Just make sure you don't pick a random recipe. Please keep one of the abilities I asked for. Remember, your choice can influence my fate. It could change the entire outcome of this quest. But of course, I'm sure you're already aware of that. Sorry for backseat mixing. So I'm genuinely curious about how you're supposed to find new recipes, because there are slots for new ones in the book. So something with a lot of diplomacy. I don't have infusions yet, which maybe those are the things that unlock new stuff. I think I gave Fable a spoken heart last time. I want to see what happens with that recipe.
This should do it.
Thank you. I feel much better. Braver. Barming. Oh, wait, that sounds like I'm tending to a farm.
There are a lot of farmers up in Tagarin.
And I'm gonna protect them all. Or talk to them until they feel better. I'm sure they could use that too. I just hope I don't have to fight anyone. Now I'll be okay. Because of your help, I'll be able to talk myself out of any situation. Thank you again. I think this drink gave me the courage I needed to get started.
You got this, Fable.
I'll try.
Have some faith in yourself.
Okay, I got this.
Much better.
Oh, I almost forgot. I was thinking about how much your words helped me yesterday. And how I have to thank you properly if I ever did end up taking a quest, so...
So?
I brought you some phoenix chilies from my garden. They seem like something you might enjoy. They possess natural magical properties. If you plant them in the right soil, they can grow to be fire resistant. And
that consumption can pass on to mortals like us.
exactly. I thought they might go well with your drinks.
They will. Thank you, Fable. That's a very thoughtful gift. Since I'm waiting for another shipment of infusions in a few days, I'll take a look at them all together later.
Of course. I'm glad you like them. Maybe I'll order a drink with some next time. But first I have to complete my quest. I'll see you post-victory.
I hope Fable will be alright. I wonder what path their fate took. Maybe a zesty one. I hope I was able to help.
So this is all new content for me now.
You again?
Me again.
And who are you?
Someone who wants a drink.
What kind?
Drink.
Yes, I get it. Could you try being more specific?
That spoken heart one tasted fine.
Thank you.
So another spoken heart. Yeah, the order really doesn't matter for this.
A spoken heart just for you. Maybe it will help you find more words.
Good attempt. Perfectly drinkable. Make me come back for more. Might not.
Thank you. Enjoy. Charming.
Nighttime? Oh, I love these two. Careful, you'll step on my cape. Oh, shush.
Greetings, travelers. How may I help you?
None of those empty babblers.
I can confidently say I'm all but empty.
That's what they all say. Seems they've given you some more dialogue options than most, but that can't convince me yet.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Of course not. Oh, I just forgot to give you enough intellect. Would surprise me if there was actually a brain inside that skull.
I'm sure there is. Have you checked? No, but I can assure you I'm different from your average background character.
Sure. Must agree, you look much more delicious than they usually do.
Thank you, though I should let you know I'm not on the menu.
Aw, the vampire's sad. Don't worry about him too much about him. He's a tad quirky.
I see. That thing on your shoulder, is it quirky too?
What thing? Ah, my cape!
Your cape?
That's not his cape. That green fellow on his shoulders and ooze, or what's left of it.
And the rest of it is on you.
Aye. Pretty tough to clean off.
May I ask how that happened?
You just did.
Maybe I can offer you two a drink in exchange for a story in your names?
Yes! I love stories.
Well then, may I have your name?
No, but I shall tell it to you. I'm Sir Alphonse Louis Frederick Duquette de Sang. It's long for Kyle. Kyle? Kyle.
Well, Kyle, what drink can I get for you? Can I offer you?
Blood! I forgot I'll settle for something that tastes like blood. Or looks like it. Red is my favorite color.
I'll look for something with red in it.
Red in it. This is a strength drink. And the Southern Brawler was on either side. Sure, let's do the Southern Brawler. See if this is what they want.
Some almost blood for you, sir.
Oh, thank you very kindly. Looks delicious. It also tastes delicious. Maybe as a chaser you could let me have a bite.
No.
Okay.
And to whom may I offer the second drink?
Rhea Frostgrip.
Nice to meet.
Yeah. Skip. Just serve me something strong, something that feels durable. Tough like a mountain or caves of Ur. One of those frosted lagoons looks close enough.
Coming right up.
I have not made a frosted lagoon yet.
A taste of her, just for you, valued customer number 2.
Oh, you hitting on the placeholder text? Let me try. You're many things, but not a liar. Tastes like a pile of rocks, just how I like it.
So, Rhea, Kyle, what about that ooze-filled story?
Fine. Guess you've earned it. Alright, picture me deep in the mountains of Vember. What do I call it? Vember. With my trusty axe and a good drink by me side. I was minding me own business, digging for the good stuff, you know. Hit a gold vein earlier, and deemed myself the luckiest dwarf of all time. Had a real big pile of gold. Then suddenly this big ooze comes along and slurp. Gone it was. This is a very boring story. Perhaps we could go to look for my cape now? It's nearly sunrise. And? The sun kills ye? Oh, right.
Did the ooze also eat the cape?
Yes. No. You're back cleaning dishes. No worries. Oh. Anyways, I wouldn't call myself the best warrior. But when that ooze slipped up me gold, I had to do something. So I took me shovel, and I dug and hit until there was nothing left of the ooze anymore. Well, almost nothing.
So, did you dig out your gold?
Silly fool, she dug me out. And guess what he was clinging on to? The gold? Oh yes, a big gold nugget. Should be enough to get me to Beruvia. And perhaps you could even get me a dandy new cape.
Oh, and perhaps you'd even give me a dandy new cape.
I don't think so, Sunshine. We had a deal. Ah, we did? Please allow me a question. What was that deal again? I get you to Beruvia so you can participate in your fancy vampire banquet. In return, I get the gold. But what about my cape? Where did you last see your cape? Wait, was that me?
When did you last see your cape?
Don't even bother. It's a lost cause. We looked everywhere on our way here. Fought cursed chests, many-eyed monstrosities, undead goons. And I started to wonder, where in his life did this man put his cape? Where everyone puts their capes. Do you know where I put me capes?
Where?
In a wardrobe! Oh. So you wear it inside the wardrobe land? What? No.
Kyle, maybe we could find someone to retrieve your cape for you.
We could? Phenomenal.
I could put out a quest for you, but for that we'd need a little bit more information.
Good luck with that.
First, I need to know where you last saw your cape.
I was getting ready to go to the annual vampire banquet hosted by Lord Strut in Beruvia. When I was getting dressed, I realized I couldn't find my cape. My first thought was, of course I cannot find it. The cape of invisibility is playing tricks on me. It's quite moody sometimes. Which is truly unfortunate when you want to wear it for an important event. We all know how important a fancy cape is for flaunting our vampire status.
Of course.
And what was the last vampire event you wore the cape to? My wedding!
Your wedding?
When I married my sweet Evelyn, I simply had to wear my most treasured cape. To show how important she was to me.
Evelyn, the vampire Countess Evelyn, residing in Marrow Castle?
That would be her.
Congratulations, are you still married?
Of course not. I hate her. Every inch of her body. It turns out she just wanted... Spit it out, Leech. Oh. What? My cape! Ah, rats. Here we go again. My sweet Evelyn sold my cape! What now? That little mean, vicious, beautiful beast. That thief of thieves robbed me of my most precious possession.
Wouldn't that be your heart?
No, I had that taken out centuries ago. But my cape! I could never live without that. Oh, sweet, sweet Evelyn. How could you do this to me? I trusted her with all I had. That's rough, buddy. Perhaps Innkeeper? That's her name, right? Sure. Do you think there's a courageous adventurer out there brave enough to retrieve my precious cape for me? Afraid my sweetest Evelyn can kill me on sight if I ever... Will kill me on sight if I ever step foot in her villa again.
Yes, I think we can find an adventurer. We're setting up a search right now. So, where could a brave adventurer find Morrow Castle?
Deep past the Abyss of Dread, at the foot of the mountain range that looks like a witch's bosom, towers the mansion of my dear Evelyn, Queen of Darkness, Temptress of Men, flamenco champion of 67. Our heroes should be able to outsmart her and escape with their life. But be wary. She bites! And she may be invisible right now, too.
Alright, I think I've got everything I need. I'll write up a quest for you. I'm sure you'll have your cape back in no time.
I hope so. That reminds me. Not another cursed monologue. Innkeep, quickly, another drink. I don't think I can make it through another tale of woe without some artificial stamina. I need another lagoon.
I'll see what I can do.
no, it's not that.
Some liquid stamina for a valued guest.
Let me try. You got it right again. I might even last until dayfall with this.
Kyle, would you like another drink as well?
No, I cannot drink now that I am consumed with thoughts of my love's betrayal. Ah, it tells me so. Everything else, ye. The whole way here, ye were complaining about having to walk. I bet Ford doesn't work like it used to. I'm out of practice, and the slime weighs heavily on my shoulders. And my back is itchy. By the dragons, could it be because you insisted on sunbathing? Glad you made your food before it began to rain. Yeah, fair. Oh, alright. Innkeeper! Do you have a drink to protect me from the sun? Perchance something that would be able to moisturize my delicate skin?
I'm afraid not.
Oh. That reminds me, my Aunt Matilda used to harness the power of Chimera's saliva for sun protection.
The Chimera?
A beast made out of several animals. Got 3 heads and all made by the dragons that guard Gaia. Likes to eat people for breakfast.
I'm aware, I just didn't know its saliva could be so useful.
Ah. If only I hadn't eaten out of that delectable bear, chimera, in the Scarlet Groves, I could have asked it for a sample of its saliva. I'm sure that would have gone over well.
Actually, I might know where to find one.
Really? Will you get it for me then?
No.
Oh. What? What are you looking at me like that? Miss Frostgrip, dear Shreya, perhaps we can alter our deal. Oh nay, forget it, I ain't going. With nothing on me but a shovel and ooze goop, I'd be no match for such a beast.
No problem, I can make it another quest from my trusted board.
And when will it be done? Tell me, when can I once again walk among mortals in the glistening sunlight?
As soon as a formidable and fearless adventurer picks it up and succeeds, especially on that part.
Splendid! Did you hear that? A quest just for me. Let's leave it at 2. Say, Innkeep, while we wait for someone to do his work, perhaps you have a room or 2? Possibly a room without sunlight? Wouldn't want a Snow White to go up in flames here.
Sure thing, I've got a couple of barred up rooms. You can stay there.
How much?
You can pay me when you leave.
Grand. Seems like you gave us more personality than usual. Keep it up. Maybe you'll become a real boy one day.
Thank you. Enjoy your stay.
You too, tasty creature. I've got 2 quests. Until sunrise, deep in the quag mangrove resides a wyvern chimera. Its scales and claws are valuable treasure to any alchemist, its saliva even more so. It happens a certain vampire may be able to use the rare saliva to produce a sunscreen so effective that it could walk in broad daylight. Is there any adventurer or mouse brave enough to confront the beast, the chimera, not the vampire, and bring back a bucket of its saliva? Ah, it does do this. The vampire last saw his cape on his wedding day before he was wed to Countess Evelyn. There we are. Rookie Vampire is looking for his cape. He seems a bit confused, wanted to go for a stroll in the sun. The vampire last saw his cape on his wedding day before he was wed to Countess Evelyn. At the foot of Witch's Wrath Peak resides Countess Evelyn, the vampiric temptress of men. Be wary of invisible threats. Ah, congrats on catching that one, J-Log. Oh my goodness, love that art there. That looks good. On a mild summer morning, a senile vampire came to look for his cape of invisibility at the Wayfarer's Inn. After steady questioning, the innkeeper discovered that he lost his cape at his wedding, where his ex-wife, Countess Evelyn, stole it from him. She resides at the foot of the Witch's Wrath Peak. Venture to the peak and dare to retrieve the long-lost cape. But be aware, she might be invisible. Ah, good, you can do all the quests. The Wayfarer's Inn, new friends and former enemies. 59th of Wake. So this must be like a month system. But part 3. Anyway, I'm going to tag BRB quick because I am feeling that lack of sleep hitting me hard. So I need to get up and move around a bit to wake up, and I'm going to also get myself a snack. So I'm going to hit BRB. I'm going to trigger an ad break while we're doing that, and I'll come back and say 5 to 10 minutes. Just want to make sure that I'm like not going to fall asleep on everybody on stream because I'm like, oh boy, this is not a good feeling. So, but we're going to do at least another day.
Okay, everyone, I am back. Thank you for letting me take that break. I think I might get one more day done in this, but it's probably going to be a shorter stream today. That lack of I realize. So, let's hop back into the game. Audio looks good, but it's not picking up the video. There we go. Thanks, Robbie. So I wonder if we're going to find out what happened with Fable. My shipment of infusions finally arrived this morning. I now have access to some fey crystals and frozen peppercones. Together with Fable's Phoenix chilies, I now have 3 infusions. I'll unpack them later when I have some time. I have a feeling they'll be of use soon. Oh, we're just skipping the day. Oh, no, we're not. Diplomacy is key. So, innkeep, a drink for me and this lanky pal. It's good to see you too, Care. She meant to say please. Welcome back, Fable. You look alive. Thank you. I am. That seems like a given. I'm just happy to see them doing well, and with a friend. We ain't friends. We're not? So you two didn't form a party? No. Oh. Then what's the drink about? They may be very annoying, but they did just help me solve a family feud of 10 years. So I do owe them some of your dishwater at the very least. Family feud? I wouldn't call it feud, more of a miscommunication. No, it was a feud. I feel like a feud implies a certain level of hostility. I was gonna kill him. I thought that was a joke. It wasn't. Oh. But no one died? No. Elfie here was able to prevent that. It's Fable. Whatever. Does this perchance have something to do with your quest? It does! I stopped her from killing that werewolf. Elaborate, please. I was going to kill the werewolf. They stopped me from killing the werewolf. What's not to get? A lot. I think he's confused because the quest was to save the villagers from the werewolf. And now it sounds like I saved the werewolf from you. Which I did. Kind of. I also remember saying you didn't want the quest, Care. I didn't. Was there by chance. They were both stealing sheep. Was not? Sure was. Adventuring didn't pay what it used to. So you steal other people's sheep. Mind your own business. How did any of this lead to a successful quest? Well, where do I start? How about at the beginning? Right. I was born on a half-crescent dreaming moon of the quest fable. Right. The quest. Oh, I love Fable. I think you're a little late on that one, J-Log. The giraffe rig escaped. Traveling there was no trouble. I know enough shortcuts to travel through the Ashen Grove swiftly. I reached the borders of Tegarin right around dusk. The Ashen Grove thins out around there, and you can catch a glimpse of the wide fields and vineyards, as well as one farm after another. An idyllic sight, well, at least before sunset. Do you have trouble in the dark? Emotionally? Visually? A little. I mean, I reckon I can see more than a human could, but darkness is still darkness, and I'm no owl. Thank God you're already weird enough. Imagine the damage you could do if you could turn your head all the way around. Who says I can't? Just kidding. I love these two together.
You just have Fable as the happy-go-lucky chipper person who's very emotionally aware and cares like, I am so done with this shit. Anyway, luckily darkness doesn't affect my hearing.
Not the normal kind.
What?
Nothing.
Okay, I heard a creaking fence and footsteps that were failing at keeping quiet. Your ears are failing at being small. So I snuck closer and saw a werewolf-esque shape picking up a tiny sheep. I was petting it. Well, I thought she was going to eat it, so I summoned up all of my courage and stepped out of the shadows and said, "Good evening, werewolf. Please put down the sheep." I didn't expect them to be entirely in their right mind, of course, but I wanted to be polite. And I thought it might confuse her, and maybe that would help calm her down. It confused me, alright. Who the heck sees a werewolf and the first thing they do is greet them? A polite person. Or an insane one. It worked, didn't it? Because I ain't no werewolf. He wasn't that different. But I'm skipping ahead. To my surprise, instead of a growl, a werewolf, or not werewolf, responded with a, "What?" So the confusion plan had worked, but I hadn't expected that response. So I said again, "Please put down that sheep." And she asked, "Why?" I said, "Well, because stealing sheep isn't very nice." And she asked me who I was. No, I asked, "Who are you, a guard?" I was about to introduce myself when we heard this blood-curdling howl. It sounded like someone had ripped a hole in the fabric of reality and then pierced it with a horrid yell. Please, it was barely a bark. And it made the blood freeze in my veins. I heard panting and heavy footsteps, and I barely dared to turn around. You turned around immediately. And when I did, I stared in the twisted face of a werewolf, gleaming yellow eyes, gleaming with jaundice. Sharp teeth, giant claws, he looked like he wanted to eat me right up. He did. Before I could beg for mercy, suddenly something rushed past me and lunged at the werewolf. When I regained my composure, Carolyn and the werewolf were on the ground, fighting tooth and nail.
And the sheep you were holding?
Obviously, I set it down at that point.
Good. So you went to Fable's aid?
No, that ain't it. I noticed the werewolf's flannel rags. They were blue, checkered, and had an uneven print. Just the kind of stuff Uncle Dagon likes to wear. That old fucker. Hey, why can't I say that? Fucker! What the fuck?
Youth protection. The age rating system is quite harsh.
Fuck! Anyway, it was dressed like Uncle Dagon, smelled like Uncle Dagon, fought like him too. I was joking when I brought it up before, you know. Haven't seen that old man in years. Was coping about it by joking. That's the only way I could talk about him these days.
Because of the feud?
Yes. He used to be my favorite uncle, but then he changed. Became irritable, angry, distant, fought a lot with Uncle Feder. Cared more about the moon than he did his own family. Eventually he just left, ran away, without a word. Left Unks and Uncle Feder behind, worried senseless. Till he found a letter saying not to look for him and all their savings missing. Swore I was gonna kill him if I ever saw him again. Anyway, I thought he couldn't face up to his problems. Turns out his solution was just to get those problems as far away as His solution was just to get those problems as far away from everyone as possible. Idiot.
And did you talk it out with your fists?
I tried, but Elfie stopped me. I'm glad they did.
How did you figure that out?
Well, she was yelling at him. I didn't understand half of it, but I could tell she was angry and hurt. I tried to get their attention by yelling at them to stop, but they wouldn't listen. I shot an arrow right next to both of their heads. My aim was a little shaky, so I ended up grazing Mr. Dagon's ear. But it got them to stop for long enough to start listening to me. I threatened them that if they didn't stop to talk, I would shoot them both. I would never have done that, of course. But they must have believed me, because they actually stopped to listen. Looked mighty scary there, little pal. Thank you. I guess. I sat them down and did my best to be an insurmountable object between them. If they wanted to fight, they would have to go through me.
And that sounds rather dangerous.
It was. Wouldn't have stopped for them. What? You're the size of a stick. You think you could stop 2 angry wolves?
Oh, well, anyway.
Fable's so adorable. I love them. I used the opportunity to figure out what was going on. And that's how I found out about Mr. Dagon and Carolyn and the miscommunication. Gonna head out to nap for a bit. I woke up early doing a favor for my mom and her groceries. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, J-Log. You enjoy that nap. I need one myself soon, too. Enjoy my weekend? Thank you. I will. You enjoy yours, too. Take care. And that's how I found out about Mr. Dagon and Carolyn and the miscommunication. Feud. The feud, sure. Turns out that after Mr. Dagon was turned, he was too ashamed to admit it. But he couldn't stop the changes and ended up hurting all the people he cared about. That's no excuse, of course. No, it ain't. If we'd known, we'd have helped him best we could. At the very least, we would have built a sturdy shed with scratch-proof walls for full moons. He didn't think that would have happened, though. So he decided to fix the problem by leaving, deal with it alone. And so... But that only made it worse. Of course, he was too embarrassed to come back, so... He just focused on the whole werewolf thing, and not any human things, or Volcakin things, so to speak. Trying to find a cure, trying to avoid the moon, trying to find a place to sleep, stealing sheep. That's something they have in common.
The sheep?
No, the stubbornness, and the unwillingness to ask for help. But the sheep, too. But they had to talk about it. That silent resentment wasn't good for either of them.
And you got them to do that?
The little stick is oddly persuasive. Had us talking about it before we even realized I didn't want to.
Maybe because you did want to.
Maybe.
How did it go?
Fine. We'll take some time to accept his apology. We'll have to see him change first, and apologize to Uncle Feder and the rest. But it was good to see him again. Guess a hug did feel better than a greatsword in his gut.
Wonderful.
Of course, there's still the problem with the whole werewolf thing. Idiot got so obsessed with Akira he could barely control himself. We helped him realize that even Akira couldn't change what he'd done. That he still has to accept he's different now and learn how to live again. Of course, it won't be easy. No change ever is. I learned that from you. But we have a group of werewolves living near our settlement. A small community that enjoys the company of our warm trees. We play charades with them a lot, and they taught me about the phases of the 7 moons and the secrets of the moon signs. That sounds like a bunch of... It's real. You're a crescent moose. We introduced Mr. Dragon, and they promised they would take him in and help him deal with his lycanthropy.
And that sounds great.
It is. It's a happy ending.
I wouldn't call it an ending, rather the beginning of something new.
So the end of one adventure is just the beginning of another one?
Exactly.
I like that.
So, after your heroic therapy session, you two decided to grab a drink together?
Got offered to spend the day at the settlement. But they don't serve anything strong enough for my tastes. Plus, Elfie was dying to get back to here. Was talking about how they needed to update you on everything non-stop. I think they live here or something. I had to report back about the quest.
I'm glad you did.
They also started crafting something with the werewolves. Ah! Said something about it being for you in keep.
Oh, really?
Yeah?
It's not finished yet, but I'll let you know, I promise. That wasn't that hard, was it? Well. So, a drink. What can I offer you, Care? Surprise me with something that fits my brawn. By which, I mean maybe the usual. Strength never gets old. Alright. Wonder what I need to do to, like, learn new drinks. Because there is more options in my drink listing here. Hmm. One, two, three. One, and top it off with a little bit of blue. Surprise! Not bad. You should do this professionally. I'll think about it. Fable, what about you? Do you have something that'll calm me down? Maybe even bring back some of my agility? Like a swift strike back to my senses. I've had a stressful day. Night. Morning. Sequence of events. Here you go. Thank you. Wow, this is perfect. You look tired. Have you considered sleep? Hey, don't you sass me, game. They look like they're going to pass out any second. So do you. Maybe sleep is a good idea. Carolyn, do you have a place to sleep? I could sleep anywhere. It's a talent. It's depressing. I have a room available. You can stay there. Sounds good. How much? I'll count it as payment for your help with the quest. Fine. Later, Elfie. See you later. Are you heading home, Fable? Yeah, I've been gone for a whole day. I need to get back and make sure everything is still growing correctly. Maybe a nap first? Yes, that too. Did you enjoy your first quest? I did. It was scary and different from what I expected. And I didn't know I was so good at pretending to be charming. Have you considered that maybe you weren't pretending? You did well, Fable. Thank you. I hope that wasn't my only adventure. I think this is just the beginning. That'd be nice. Do you think I'm gonna save the world one day? That's a very tall order. You're right. I'm not cut out for that. I didn't say that. I would just prefer it if the world didn't end. Right. But if it does, you're the first person I'd ask for help. Maybe you should ask Carolyn first, but I'd be happy to be second. We'll see, Fable. Let's hope he won't. I like this world, and you have a point. We shouldn't hope for such a calamity. Even if it would make for a good song. Or a sad one. Or both. I'm gonna head home now. Do that. I'll stock up on quests for you. Can't wait. See you soon. See you soon. Okay, so no new quests and no new people.
Oh, they took their thing off tonight.
Good evening to you, too.
Wait, they've got a... Wait a minute. They've got a tramp stamp on their back? Got a lower back tattoo. Okay. This quest. It wasn't here yesterday.
That is correct.
It seems dangerous.
It is.
And mysterious.
Sure is.
Like me.
You could be a little less mysterious by telling me your name.
Zephyr.
Did the wind carry you in?
No, my legs. I want that quest.
Well, you can have it.
Not just literally, physically, emotionally.
Emotionally.
I want to take on that quest. Go to the castle. Get the cape. I mean... Yes.
Well, no one's gone to the castle yet, so if someone would like to go, they'd be welcome to.
So you know of the castle?
Yes?
It seems strange.
It is. A vampire lives there.
I heard rumors, whispers, of a strange, fiendish woman residing there.
What a coincidence, me too.
Has she ever frequented your tavern?
No, not recently.
But she has.
Once. Had a vampire mixer.
Interesting. So she was only here at night.
Yes.
Would you say she was unnaturally pale?
No, she had a lot of makeup on.
But below that mask?
Sure, yes. Would guess she looked pretty dead below that.
What kind of drink did she order?
Blood.
Interest. You saw blood?
Of course.
What was blood?
Did you hear about the wolves avoiding the castle?
Really? All of them?
Yes. She has a lot of werewolf traps set up, but all animals seem to steer clear of Marrow Castle. They say its doors are always locked, so nothing can go inside or leave. And anything that tries to merges into her land one way or another. As a grave, a pile of decorative bones, dirt feeding on rotting flowers. They say death clings to her doorstep like an everlasting memory. Melody.
Sounds like a strange place. Like a tomb for something still alive. Or for a goth. Goth or vampire, she seems to be a thief.
It appears so. Do you not sympathize with that?
Thievery is an honorable skill, but must be performed in secret. Or you're not worth the coins you pocket. Also, stealing a man's cape is just plain rude.
I suppose so.
Only thing worse than that is stealing a man's hat. None of it's cursed, though.
Especially then.
Point is, if you can't defend yourself from having your trophies reclaimed, you must live with the consequences.
The consequences being you.
Exactly.
It definitely sounds like you know what you're doing.
Of course I do. I'm one with the shadows and the wind. Gone before they even notice I'm there.
So you could easily swipe something else along with the cape, right?
Certainly. Gold, gemstones, other treasures, whatever pays the bills.
What about some interior decorations?
Like what, for example?
Just something to pretty up my tavern a little bit. Maybe something useful that also doubles as a decoration?
Like a chair?
Stealing a whole chair sounds a little bit too ambitious for your first quest with me. I prefer something smaller, like a trinket. My walls are a bit empty.
Wait, you're being serious?
Absolutely. A memento that once belonged to an eccentric vampire sounds like a wonderful addition to the tavern. I'll see what I can do. You won't be disappointed. Well then, I trust you to deliver yourself to her doorstep and bring the cape back to me, along with a neat addition to my interior design. Sounds like I'll need a few stamps. Would you like some? No, too traceable. How about a drink then? I could do with one of those. I heard your drinks inspire transformations of great magnitude. Allow you to dip into parts of yourself that you weren't previously aware of. Raise yourself up from your shadow. Say, what do you trade them for? Secrets. Secrets. I have many. Grant me one? I shall. I know this may come as a shock to you, but I was here before, just yesterday. May not remember because you barely noticed me in the shadows. I was so stealthy I spent hours just watching you from afar. That is definitely a secret. You cleaned a lot of glasses, served everyone with a smile. You looked worried after the adorable green one left. Like you thought they might trip straight into a monster's maw. And you're swift with your hands and fast with the knife. Alright, enough secrets. You may have one of my renowned drinks. And some of my renowned infusions. In fact, I just got a fresh shipment today. Was finally able to unpack them. Infusions. Intriguing. What vile magic do you have to offer? For your purposes, I think you could benefit either from some fey crystals or a frozen pine cone. The frozen pine cones have absorbed some of nature's icy properties. They can help you form a magical frost barrier that will hurt those trying to harm you. The fey crystals hail straight from Avalon, allegedly. If consumed, they'll turn you invisible, eventually. And for a bit, the duration is a little unpredictable. I've also got some phoenix chilies, but I don't think that would be very useful for your situation. Interesting. So what dark depths of yourself are you looking to explore? I fear that Lady Evelyn may be of the undead nature, so I must be strong and vigorous if I want my stake in her heart before her fangs are near my neck. But that does sound appealing. Strength I can do, and some frost armor to help with the fangs. Or perhaps, the smarter route would be to evade her wrath entirely. To outstealth her and steal the cape right from under her pale nose, that she may lie in shame of having lost against me. I think such approach would require a great amount of dexterity, and some invisibility could help with staying unseen should my speed and agility not be enough. Help me with this decision, Innkeep. Your wisdom is no secret, is it? Now that I have access to infusions, I need to be careful how they interact with other ingredients. I might alter the drink in a way where I have to use different ingredients than usual. I should make sure to keep an eye on the coaster shape that I mix the correct recipe. Maybe I should even try adding the infusion first and adjusting the drink from there. Let's give it a try. Alright, so we're gonna go with the Dex one. And the Fey Crystal was the invisibility part. What are you... Okay. Oh. So that's a swift strike now. So it adds a little bit to the individual stats. Here you go, a drink that all vampires fear. Garlic breath? Not quite, but that's a good name. May I steal it? You didn't ask for permission before you steal something and keep. It's no longer a clever ruse, but a mere trade. I see. Did you hear about my new drink, the garlic breath?
Ha! Good one. It tastes like, not garlic, but just as fearsome to a vampire.
You don't find garlic scary?
No, only the absence of it.
That makes two of us.
Hopefully this will help me evade her. I'm not preparing for a fight, but I won't need one if my steps are swift and quiet. I'm not prepared for a fight, but I won't need one if my steps are swift and as quiet as the wind. And if she can't see me. Goodbye, innkeep. I would say the sun will carry me back to you. My hopes do not lie with the realm keepers, and I shall be damned if they control my fate. I expect you to see me again after the next nightfall. If you do not, speak of vengeance.
Vengeance makes for an early grave.
Or for a good story. Farewell. Okay. Who are you, you weird person? They are a rogue, he, they. Background is Themis, Chaotic Good, Arcana of the Moon. Care is the Chariot, Chaotic Good. Eravet, class is Beast Slayer. She, her, 36. How old are they? 25. They, them. Neutral good. The Hanged Man. Don't know his age. He, him. Vampire. Chaotic neutral. Yeah. Arcana the Fool. Yeah. Lawful neutral. Arcana the World. Blacksmith. She, her.
Or for...
Actually, what was the previous line?
Vengeance makes for an early grave. Or for a bitter end.
I'm taking this quest and a drink.
Great. Did you sleep well?
What?
Sleep. How was it?
Ah, fine. Too long. Didn't sleep that much in ages.
Sounds like you needed it.
No, your beds are just too comfortable. It was hard to get up.
Of course. My apologies. I'll make sure to take your feedback into consideration. Would you like a drink as compensation?
I think I already said that. Maybe something strong that'll wake me up and keep me up too.
Something strong coming right up.
That is strong. Just the right amount of too much.
Maybe I should call this drink the Carolyn.
No, you shouldn't. Anyway, the quest.
Yes, the quest.
I'm taking it.
So you said? I see it is my turn to make conversation. Miss Fable. Isn't it a bit too early for another quest? You just returned.
It's been hours since I've done anything but sleep, chat, and drink. And get antsy. If I sit around for too long, it feels like my bones are disintegrating, and I forget who I am.
I think that's called boredom.
It's torture.
That too. Well, boring is not what I would call this quest in the slightest. Stealing from a chimera for a vampire's sunscreen. Couldn't get more reckless than that.
And could be taking Elfie along.
Fair point. Please don't.
I won't. So this alive is for a vampire.
Vampire sunscreen.
Can't a vampire get their chimera goo themselves?
It's a wyvern chimera. Vampires and fire don't mix too well. Also, if everyone just did their own quest, the quest economy would be in shambles.
Suppose that'd be terrible for your business.
Indeed. Have you ever encountered a chimera before?
No, not a real one. Got me thinking. Any kind of blasphemous to steal from a draconic guardian?
It depends. Are you religious?
Guess not.
Then no.
Would it be if I was?
I don't think so. Chimeras steal riches all the time, and they were created to be guardians by the protectors of the realms. So stealing something to protect someone else seems in line with the doctrine.
Huh. Good thing you ain't a priest. You do a piss poor job.
Thank you. Is it blasphemy that you're most worried about?
I ain't worried.
Okay. Nervous then, perhaps?
Ain't that either.
Then what is it?
Excitement, I suppose.
Excitement?
Don't laugh.
I'm not laughing. I'm asking.
Yes, excitement. I've never encountered a guardian before. I've always sort of wanted to.
Why haven't you?
Ain't exactly easy to find one, or survive one.
This seems like a great opportunity for you then.
It is.
What's it about guardians?
It's less about the guardian and more about what created it. And maybe a bit about the chimera. It's got a dragon head, right?
Yes, modeled after its creator, I would guess. Let me rephrase that. What is it about the dragons and chimeras with dragon heads?
They're cool. Minkair's right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when I was little, my baba used to tell me bedtime stories about the dragons every night. She was a great adventurer and encountered many of their creations on her journeys. Not sure if it's true, but she always claimed she met each of the realm keepers themselves. Had little keepsakes from them and all. My sword's one of those. Passed it on to me before she...
Passed?
left. One day she was just gone. Think she wanted to spend her last moments somewhere else. Like to think she visited one of the dragons one last time.
Your family has a leaving problem.
At least she left our savings alone. That sword and her stories are all I have left of her. Going on this quest, it almost feels like I'm stepping into a memory of hers.
Did she ever tell you about a wyvern chimera?
No, was the only kind she never encountered. Had quarrels with those feline ones, different varieties of scales, even a cow one, I think, but never found a wyvern in all her years. Would have been nice to tell her the story once I return. If I return.
I'm sure you will. You can tell the story to me. I don't know if I can make a good baba, but I do enjoy a good tale.
I'll think about it. You already got me talking too much.
This is you talking too much.
So, you like dragons? Fuck yes, I do.
They're fascinating creatures. Very interesting, very magical.
They are fascinating and magical. Used to pretend I was one when I was little. Really wanted their magic and their wings.
You could just ask them for their magic. Not sure about their wings.
I ain't a priest either. Besides, I'm a warrior. Don't do all that magic.
Why not?
I like my sword and my muscles. They're a good combo. And I don't need to rely on anyone, not even dragons.
A little help never hurt anyone.
A little suffer lions don't either.
If you say so. Does that mean you don't want a drink to pep you up, Care?
Didn't say that.
I see. That doesn't count as help?
It's a prepayment for me taking on your quest.
Sure. You'll be happy to hear I have some incredible infusions to offer you that could greatly help with your quest.
Nah, that sounds unnecessarily complicated. Let's keep it simple.
Alright, what can I get you then?
I reckon a little bit of boost for this body couldn't hurt. Heard they're quick and toothy. I'll need to be too hardy for its bite. Some defense might come in handy. Or something for the brain. Bubba talked a lot about how they enjoy a good ruse. Maybe I can outsmart it with the right play. But I need some intelligence for that. Won't be risking it all on a bad idea.
Are you sure you don't want any infusions? Just a little bit of phoenix jelly would make you fire resistant. That can make you very useful in a fight.
Dragons, you're stubborn. Sure, I'll try one.
And on the topic of trickery...
No, one is enough. Either you mix defense with your weird chilies, or you go heavy on the intelligence. Don't need any more of your fancy tricks. I don't care which one you pick. That's your job. Figure it out. Okay.
You know, I never made the brain drink. Hmm. Hmm.
You know what? Let's try this one. Sparkling Nebula.
Figured it out.
Thanks. Hope you season it with some trickery. It does feel weird, like my brain is sparkling.
No refunds.
How urgent is the sunscreen?
Pretty urgent. The sun tends not to take a break, even for vampires.
Maybe he should sunbathe less then. That might solve his problems.
Might. But when has an easy solution ever been fun?
Good point. I'll see what I can do. Maybe they got some mice in that mangrove.
Good luck.
Won't be needing it.
But waiting to hear more of your exploits upon your return.
Starlight Sonata, 60th of Wake. Okay. And I believe that's where we're going to stop for the day because, yeah, my brain is tapping out. My brain and my body, they ain't happy. So let's see here. That's a good candidate to raid. You know, I haven't raided this person in a dog's age. We're going to raid somebody playing the new Elden Ring DLC. Yeah. So, thank you all for joining me. I hope you had a good time. Now, we are raiding somebody that is doing the Elden Ring DLC, so if this is not your cup of tea, I understand if you want to tap out real fast afterwards, but, you know, give them a try. They're a pretty good streamer. They do some cool stuff, too. Nice challenge runs, like beating, like, Dark Souls games with, like, a drum bongo, or bongo drums or something. But, alright, let's try and get the raid going. Alright, that worked.
Thank you for joining me, everybody. We're going to be playing War Groove tomorrow, starting noon Eastern Time. And I will see you later. Until then, take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, night. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.